Hi, everybody. It's Leslie M. Thornton. Welcome to Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss. Today, I am being a little bit mean, a little bit harsh, saying that it's actually your fault. That's right, I'm saying it. It's actually your fault if you are still stuck with food. This morning, I was speaking with an amazing man. If he's listening to this, he knows who he is, and he is on his way to being able to start this journey of permanent weight loss. And something that became very apparent during this conversation was that if he didn't make a change with his way of being, absolutely nothing was going to change. Okay, now let me unpack this a little bit. So, there is something that I've learned in my leadership training that says without integrity, nothing works. Okay, without integrity, nothing works. And what that means, first of all, it does not mean that everything needs to be perfect. Integrity is basically, everything being in place, right? With everything being in its proper order. All right. And without integrity, without everything being in its proper order or proper place, nothing works. Now, what does this have to do with food? Okay. And again, integrity does not mean perfectionism. So, for example, it's not, if your room is a mess, right? You're out of integrity, therefore nothing works and you're a failure, right? That's diet mentality. That's basically saying if you're not perfect, you're going to fail, which is the mindset that keeps everybody stuck in their weight loss journey and it never ending, right? Okay, so without integrity, nothing works. Now, something we need to be aware of, right? All of these teachers, I've said it in podcast episodes in the past, say following your path of your highest excitement is the surefire, fast way to go to make everything start working in your life. Okay, so at Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, we spend very little time even talking about or worrying about food or body or weight. Why? Because those are the symptoms to other areas of your life being out of integrity. Okay, so if you have lost weight, right, or if you have been successful in the past, or has there ever been a time when you've lost weight and it seemed pretty easy, like you weren't even trying? Okay, so I remember for myself when I was in college, I was working as a personal trainer. I had a schedule that I really loved. My first class wasn't until 11 a.m. and I prefer to start my mornings out slower than, just hit the ground running and start your workday. Was never really into that, right? And I was on the tennis team and I was just fully engaged. Everything that I was doing was something that I enjoyed, right? I was in a relationship that was working at the time. And because of that, I started losing weight, not because I was trying to, but because I was so engaged in all areas of my life were working at the same time. Right? So when I was having this conversation with this man today, it became very apparent when I asked him, okay, so he knew that he wanted to do my program, but then I asked him his level of commitment on a scale from 1 to 10. And he said a 7. And when I said to him, I said, okay, so what would make it a 10 for you? And what he responded back was, if I could know for sure that these results were going to definitely show so that my wife could be happy and satisfied, then I would be a 10. And I said, okay, now this is really important for us to uncover, right? Because it's basically showing that, and let me back up for 1 second. What I was saying to him was that when we are not making a choice 100% because we want it, right? When you're just making a choice because you think that it's going to make someone else happy, right? Or it's going to that same flavor. It's not for you. It's not 100% in resonance for you. You're not going to get the same results. Okay. And this is the same thing when we follow somebody else's diet blueprint and it fails, right? Because you're following somebody else's passion. You're following somebody else's way of doing things that makes them happy and works for them. But if it's not something that you're choosing that works for you, then it's not going to stay. It's not going to stick. Okay? So then I asked him, I said, so if your wife was not a factor, right? If we took her out of the equation and, she couldn't get mad at you or she just wasn't part of your life, what would your level of commitment be then? He said, I would start right away. I'd be in my 401k. I'd be getting the money out. I wouldn't even look back. I would probably save up to pay myself back. He's like, I don't even know if I'd care to pay myself back. He's like, I really believe in committing to myself and investing in myself. And so nothing would hold me back. And I said, wow. Like, wow. I said, so that is extremely telling, right? Because it's showing us how much you are actually playing small, right? Not making your own decisions, not going after it is what you really care about because you're concerned about what somebody else is going to react like or what they think. And here at Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, something that we know is that when you are not doing what your true self says that you are up to do at this moment in time, right? So when we're being really honest with ourselves, which many of us don't really have the opportunity to do very much, we're just reacting to life, right? It's like, oh, I have to get that job done. I have to, get the bills paid. I have to make sure that my wife stays happy or else she's going to be mad. Like we're just reacting to those things and doing what it is that we need to do to survive, right? Rather than actually tuning in and saying, what do I care about right now? What is my heart and soul telling me that it's time for me to be doing? Right? I just enrolled someone yesterday who her kids are gone away, and she said there's got to be something more to my life than just my job and just my hanging out with my husband at the end of the day, which is something that she likes to do, but she's eating and drinking, but there's like no substance in her life. Right? We tapped on, having a passion and having a purpose. And she's like, I don't have that. And she's like, I'd really like to have that. Right? But not even knowing where to start, not even knowing where to begin. Okay. But so her inner truth was she needs to find her purpose and passion in life, a reason to wake up that's not just work. Right? For someone else, that might not resonate. That might not be the thing that sparks any kind of interest. It's like, I don't really care about that. Maybe you have purpose and passion, right? But maybe you're missing some sort of sense of spirituality in your life, or you're missing some sort of depth. Like, there has to be something more, right? Maybe you really do want to have that dream body, like authentically, right? But you just don't have the steps to be able to get there, right? The point is that it needs to be authentic to you, and you need to be brave enough to step up and take that action regardless of what's going to happen because you're doing it. Okay? You have to be brave enough to step up to the plate and do what it is that your heart and soul is calling and asking for you to do, regardless of what happens because of your doing that. Regardless if your relationship fails or gets into a crazy amount of turmoil because of it. Regardless of if you lose your job because of it. Regardless of if you gain a little bit of weight because of it or a lot of bit of weight. Okay? And I know what that last part, especially for somebody in this group, can be completely taboo, but I'm telling you, you have to do what your unique self, heart and soul is calling you to do. And if you don't know how to do that, you have to get clarity on how to do that. All of these things are in the way of your being able to have permanent, lasting success where you can feel peace and happiness and inner freedom and all of those things that all human beings are really yearning for. Okay? And I came from a whole slew of diet mentality in my entire life, right? And I've been through every single place that you guys are at. Okay? And I know how painful it is to keep trying and beating yourself to do something that you think that you really want to do, aka lose weight, right? Or stop drinking as much or whatever it is, and you're telling yourself that you don't have enough willpower to do it. It's all these awful things. But to actually realize that it has absolutely nothing to do with that, and the fact that you are ignoring your inner truth and your inner messages that are being downloaded through you as soon as you are able to learn how to stop and listen. Now, here's my experience. So with this guy, we also were talking about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, right? And how these people had spontaneous remissions from their diseases when they actually chose a care plan for their disease, right? Whether it's chemotherapy, whether it's spirituality, whether it's intravenous vitamin C, right? Or some holistic treatment, or it's surrendering to God, or whatever that is for that person. When they believe with 100% certainty that their form of treatment is the thing that's going to help them, that's when they get helped. Okay, so what I said to this man today, who's going to sign up soon, is I said, listen, your wife may not resonate with this program because it's not her belief system. And therefore, she should not do this because it's not a good fit for her. But nobody can tell you what you resonate with. Right? And he had already been doing a tremendous amount of personal growth and development. He had been going to therapy, right? He'd been doing all of this stuff. He is 100% on board with this type of, right? Like honoring your inner truth, using hypnosis, using other subconscious mind modalities to get past the stuck areas, right? So this is in resonance with him. This is something that he agrees with, he understands, he believes in. And for some people, that may not resonate with them, or maybe not now, and maybe it will years later after they've done 10 more diets, right? But as soon as you say yes to whatever that thing is for you, right? Whatever that form of treatment, whatever that form of weight loss, right? So we're more attacking and transforming your mindset, right? And also working on the areas of your life that are not working, that are out of integrity, right? And once you start taking action on those things and being brave and having those conversations that scare you, right? With your significant other, with your boss, with your family, right? And, going out there and believing that you can do it, right? Raising your confidence and learning how to love and accept your body for the way that it is so that you can show up in a different way. Okay, everything starts working when that stuff starts to be worked on. And then the cravings are not as strong because you're not numbing out on the fact that you're so unhappy and denying your truth. Okay, so how many of you take a look within yourself? What are you pretending not to know? What are you pretending not to know? What are you pretending not to know? Right? When you get that answer, right? It could be, I'm not happy in my relationship. My sister's outside my door. She's going to be in the podcast and on the Facebook Live. When you are not happy in your relationship, okay? Are you pretending that you are happy when you're not, right? Are you taking action on other areas of your life when you're not, right? Are you ignoring the fact that you're super unhappy in your job? You're super unhappy in general, right? You can't ignore those things. When you do, your body is holding on to all this extra emotion and tension, frustration, sadness, shame, right? And there's no safe place for you to feel that. And guess what? You eat then. Then you eat to numb it away. And I'm here to say to you that nothing is going to change unless you change. Okay? This gentleman that I was talking to this morning, he got to a point with his relationship where he said, hey, listen, this has to change or this relationship is going to end. And guess what? That's when his wife started to listen. He showed up in his confidence, in his clarity, in his assuredness about what he needed in order to operate in the world. And then his wife started to take action and pay attention. And I said to him, so we know that if your wife was not part of this equation, you would be jumping in right now. So you are literally sacrificing your long-term health by not stepping towards this, by not going into this, right? And so this is exactly why people get so stuck. And so I said to him, so you can't go in there and ask your wife's permission to do this program. Because guess what's going to happen? She's going to start to doubt you. You're going to start to doubt yourself. You're going to feel the same ways. You're going to shrink down and you're going to say no. And I said, listen, if I wasn't clear that you wanted this, right, away from fear, away from guilt, away from shame, I would not be supporting you in going towards this. But the fact that you do know that you want this means that you need to start being a different way to get a different result. So I said, you got to go in there and you got to say to her, this is what I need to do. And he was very clear for himself. If I don't follow my path of highest excitement, if I don't do this thing that I know within my heart of hearts that I believe in, then I am setting myself up to having emotions trapped in my body and there being death and disease and suffering and pain for the rest of my life. And he's like, and I can't do that anymore. And you know what? That guy is super smart and he's super right. Okay, I have studied death and dying, and so many times when it happens ahead of time, people get these diseases, right? And people who have woken up because their cancer is showing them and it makes them change their life drastically. All of a sudden, they're taking all these actions, they're getting out of relationships, they're changing their jobs, right? They're making all these new decisions because now they're faced with their death, and it's like, well, now we got to really get serious. And I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to have to get to a place where you are faced with not only having to make these life changes, right, to get yourself into alignment with what's actually true for you and start stepping up to the plate, right, but also being able to get yourself on a healing path, right? I need you to know that when I was working as a nurse, I would see these people who would, you'd have to also deal with the fact that you had this awful disease, and now you have to worry about paying hospital bills. You have to worry about all the things that come along with having a horrible diagnosis. Okay, those diseases manifest as the result of unresolved emotions and issues within your true self. And the only one who can heal that and change that is you. And it's my commitment as a hypnosis for permanent weight loss coach that you stop waiting until you get a horrible diagnosis before you start taking action on your life. Okay, you're going to either pay for it now or you're going to pay for it later, and it's going to be way worse. You're going to waste a lot of time. Your happiness is everything. You're being in alignment with where you are currently on your path. It changes. But right now, okay, if you keep gaining weight, if you keep being stuck, if you've tried every diet under the sun, right? If you can't make things happen that you normally would be happening, you're beating yourself up and you're telling yourself the same story all the time and you're always trying to lose weight, let it be known that those are the signals that you are missing something way deeper. And I know it's hard and I know it's confronting. I've been in the predicament where I wake up one day and realize my relationship is failing and that I'm not happy and I need to get out of it. I know that feeling of doom and sadness and overwhelm and denial. I know it. I know it very well. It's not comfortable. I know that feeling of being in a job that I hate every single day and doing absolutely everything in my power to try to make myself feel better and be able to deal with it. Reading all the anxiety books, trying to get myself meditating, right? Reading spiritual texts, anything to try to get me through the day so I'm not panicked all the time. I know what that's like. But consider the fact that this level of anxiety, this level of fear, this level of discomfort is actually a sign that your body is saying, I'm on the wrong path for me. Does it mean you're a failure? Absolutely not. It just means you're in some sort of situation that is not a fit for your authentic energy and truth. And I need you to start paying attention to that. Am I asking you to end your relationship now? No. Am I asking you to change your career now? No. If you're ready for that, go for it. But it takes time. It's scary, right? And what I always say to my clients is we take things one fear at a time here. Okay, when I knew that I wanted to leave my nursing job and start my own business, starting to tell people about what I knew about hypnosis and the subconscious mind and starting to take action on your life and not be scared, basically, right? I was terrified. How am I going to pay for health insurance? How am I going to have my own 401k? I didn't know any of the answers. But you know what? I went out there and I started asking questions and I made the answers come to me. If you have the will, you will find a way. Right? And I want that for you if you want that, but you need support. If you haven't already done it now, right? All the people that I speak to are usually 50s, 60s, 40s, and they've been feeling this way for decades. Decades. What do you think that does on your body, having that level of stress not being in alignment? Now, also, there's a certain amount of stress that's good. Even the man I was talking to this morning, he was totally in agreement that, some stress is good, that the stress helps him. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an immense amount of stress that causes you to binge eat, that causes you to eat way out of integrity, right? You just have that knowing of, and it's scary as you're eating and da 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 da. There's nothing wrong with you. We just haven't been being brave enough to pay attention or know how to pay attention. And that is a learned thing. That is something that we are teaching all the time here at Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss. And I want that for you if you want it. But you have to take the action. Have to step out of your comfort zone. Have to be willing and ready to take coaching and hear some things that you don't want to hear. Have to be willing to stay positive as we go through this journey together. And focused. But I guarantee you, I work with people all the time, and the results are absolutely phenomenal. And we get very clear very fast on what area of your life is not working or what you're believing that is getting in your way of having this long-term success and freedom from food. And I can 100% promise you that if we can connect, if you book a call with us, if you get our training, if you find our website on weightlossalbany.com and you book a call, we'll get to the bottom of that for you. Okay, and there's absolutely no strings attached once you see it for yourself, because everybody's thing is unique on a golden platter. Like, hey, this is what's been happening to you since you were 8 years old, or this is your way of being that's getting in the way, or this is what you're believing that is getting in your way of having freedom from food. And here is what we do to help you stop that and get over it and heal past it. You get to decide. It's clear for you. Right? And then the coaching begins. For some people, it's right away we start. And for some people, we have to coach you on how to have those difficult conversations because that's what's getting in your way. But I, for one, am not okay with my people that I'm talking to getting cancer down the road, having diseases down the road, right? That causes them, that is because of they're not listening to what I'm saying. Okay. My grandfather died of colon cancer when he was 55, 62, something like that. I never met him. He died right before I was born. But from what I know, he was not self-expressed at all. He was a great man. He was an amazing father, right? He worked hard for the family. He started his own business, but every day he would just sit on the couch every day after work and not say anything. He didn't have safety and expression, right? It's probably learned behavior from his upbringing. But guess what? There's the cancer. Okay? But when I see people, there's a story of a guy who got diagnosed with terminal cancer. I might have told this story before on this podcast. And so he made the decision, I don't want to do any chemotherapy or any treatment. I just want to die naturally. I don't want to go through that pain and suffering. So he started base jumping, which is basically a parachute, but you just jump off the side of a cliff and glide for a while until you pull your parachute and float down. Most people die in that sport. I used to hang around with skydivers a lot. Most people die. But what does he have to lose, right? Within months, his cancer was gone because he started surrendering. That was his form of treatment. Right? He started doing whatever the heck that it was that he wanted to do. And that made his body expand. It helped him to heal. Okay, so the doctors say it's because you're eating inflammatory foods or because the doctors don't even say that, right? Holistic doctors say that. And I'm not saying that medical stuff isn't true and that, inflammatory. I get all of that. It is. But not if you don't believe it. And not if it doesn't resonate with you. And the most important part, again, is that you are happy and taking action and fulfilling on the things that you came on this planet to do. My question for you is, if you were to die tomorrow, what are your regrets? What are the things that you never got to do that you always said you wanted to do? Because of exactly what we're talking about. How is your just mentally fixating on food 24/7 the thing that's getting in your way of being able to move forward and get past this stuff for good. I could talk about this all freaking day. You need to take action on your life, and that's where coaching comes in. Okay, and I wanted to make this really special announcement today. So for everyone who's watching, right, and listening, it is going to be too late on the podcast. I apologize, but we'll do something like this again in the future. Send us a note if that's something you're interested in. There is an event coming up a week from today where 3 other coach colleagues and myself are going to be doing a day-long event. Okay, it's from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. Okay, we have myself, right, Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss coach, sharing around coaching and the power of taking action on your life and sharing your vulnerabilities and getting rid of emotional shame and different things, right, and how that affects your body in every area of your life. Okay, we have a money mindset coach. We have another coach who's giving productivity hacks and taking action and not procrastinating and getting motivated, right? Another coach doing a presentation on the fear of failure. I see this one all the time, right? And our intention is that everyone who comes to this event walks away feeling like they know that they can start taking action and feel motivated to show up in all areas of their life. And I want that for you if you want that. Okay, so this is just going to be for people who see this, right? For those of you who are my clients, past or current, you should have a calendar invite already, right? Or if you haven't gotten it, you will be getting it. Okay, and for those of you who are just watching, maybe we've had a consultation together already and you haven't chosen to move forward yet, right? Or maybe you just got into this Facebook group and you haven't booked a call with us yet. This event is open to everyone in this group, okay? It's free to attend, absolutely free to attend, and for you to start looking at what areas of your life are not working. It's going to be absolutely tremendous. So my take home for you is it is not about the darn food. It is not about it, all right? I know that your brain thinks about it all the time. I know that food is your enemy. It does not have to be. Let me tell you, the only enemy that you have is yourself for not taking action. And it's okay. It's scary. You don't need to judge or blame yourself for that, but get yourself some support. I needed support. I always had coaching. I had to break away from family norms and all of these things, all the ingrained beliefs and habits to be able to find my authentic truth. And let me tell you, to have the life that I have today because of my being willing to take those actions, face my fears, not be afraid of failure, right? And keeping honest with myself over and over again, it has continued to bring blessings over and over and over into my life. And I want that for you if you want that. Okay, so send us a comment if you're watching this Facebook Live if you'd like to attend. We'll make sure you get the information. Okay, and for those of you who want our free training, it's on this site as well, but you can go ahead and text hypnosis to 72727. Okay, text the word hypnosis to 72727. You'll get that free training, and then after that, you'll have the opportunity to book a call with us. Okay, there is a way out, but guess what? You're the way. All of these beliefs that we have, I did a video podcast on menopause, right? And the fact that that's a reason you can't lose weight, right? Or the fact that you can't lose weight because of COVID, right? Or you can't lose weight because, right, your metabolism or your hormones or all the stories that you tell yourself. They're all a way to avoid taking responsibility for yourself and your life. And it's not your fault. Even though this name of this it's your fault, right? It is and it isn't. It's your mind's fault, right? It's the beliefs that you're telling yourself's fault of you're not being able to get past it and take action. Okay? So we need to help you heal the mind to get past the mental chatter, get you back into your body, and get you feeling your way towards success. That's how the hypnosis can help you. That's how the coaching can help you. And you're taking action on the areas of your life that really matter to you in a way that feels good to you. And once you master and practice over and over again, listening and acting, and listening to yourself and acting, and listening and acting and responding, not reacting, responding from a centered place of wholeness and fullness and knowing that you are whole and complete just the way you are today, everything starts to work. And then a beautiful side effect of your being happy and fulfilled on a regular basis, the weight can come off. Okay, in the last year, I've lost 20 pounds, not counting one freaking calorie, not watching what I'm eating at all, drinking as much as I want, eating as much as I want, right? All of this kind of stuff, but continuing to do exactly what I'm saying, listening to myself, being brave enough to take action on it, feeling my way through things, continuing to practice emotional mastery techniques and subconscious mind modalities. It's not as fast as a quick fix diet, but it's the long-term solution. And here at Hypnosis for Permanent Weight Loss, we are out for way more than you're just having some pounds lost. We are out for your life to work, and we are out for your body to heal, and we are out to prevent you from having horrible circumstances happen in your future. And nobody can make that leap unless it's you. So to get our free training, text hypnosis to 72727. Comment below if you'd like to come to our event next Saturday with our other 3 coaches, and let's get your life back on track. I'll talk to you soon.